Leslie, the construction of the patient booklets, which are available on the COVIDSURG website, is the fastest we've seen patient-facing material coming out of a research study, and it's been quite amazing. How did you produce them so quickly?
We were very lucky to work with a great research team, and also because I work very closely with our own patient and research network, I was able to quickly pull together patients that were available to take part in the Zoom calls. There had been a lot of work done to highlight the areas of information that patients could possibly need. And so we were presented with a very, very, very draft outline booklet. And the Zoom meetings worked extremely well because we could see what the researchers were thinking about. We could comment live, as it were, and the team member was able to alter the booklet as we made recommendations. We discussed color, font, photos. We also inputted into how many booklets there should be because the researchers hadn't completely thought about that. But the people such as Carrie, and she'll be able to talk much better about this, had specific areas of expertise which enabled us to take the original booklet and to look at it in a completely different way for those patients with significant learning disabilities, which was a major addition to the suite of booklets. So, Carrie, do you want to talk a little bit more about that aspect of it?
Yes. When we were producing when we first started looking at the booklet, I have to say there was so much work done already. Really, a lot of hard work had been done, so you could actually see that. So it was a pleasure to start off from that footing with the research team who had already worked on that. I mean, I'm involved in my professional life in communications, but I do have a particular area of expertise, having worked with people with learning disabilities for some years. And so it was just a natural progression for me to look at it in that way when we were looking at which audience we would actually be targeting. And of course, we're targeting everyone because someone needs surgery at some time. And, you know, bowel disease, bowel cancer, etc., doesn't differentiate as to what kind of person you are. So that's what jumped out at me when we were actually thinking about who would be reading the booklet, who would be looking for the support. And I just used my professional experience to come at it from that angle.
Neil, do you think that Bowel Researchers UK's existing investment in patients and patient experts and patient-facing materials, do you think it both enabled this to be done so quickly, and do you think that makes it a worthwhile investment?
I think it's a very worthwhile investment because Leslie has a vast database of people such as Carrie and myself, and so for any given project, she's very quickly able to access her database and choose the right people for the right task. And probably Carrie and I had expressed an interest, or certainly both worked on other PPI projects involving written material, for instance, that perhaps led her to choose us to be involved in this particular instance. And certainly in my past, I've been involved in some work with BAME communities, and the style of the booklet, looking at more of an easy read format or having that as an option, is something that can be extremely effective. And they say a picture paints 1,000 words, and I think that's right. So the fact that there are a number of us collaborating, and as Leslie said, you've got Mary and the team so responsive, and the person who was actually amending the material as we went, that was absolutely incredible. So it wasn't a case of, we'll have a meeting today, maybe 2 weeks later you'll get something back to look at. It was almost instantaneous, or indeed you'd receive a new PDF later that day. And that was incredible to be part of something, and to compare the very first draft to the actual final draft, which was only a matter of days later. It just goes to show the power of the professionals working with Bowel Research UK, and of course people like Carrie and myself. So definitely worth the investment, yes.
And Leslie, do you think you would have been able to bring this all together in such a short time frame if it wasn't for the pre-existing and new investments from Bowel Research UK?
No, I think since my time within the charity over the last 2.5 to 3 years, it has allowed us to build on what was there before, and to use that strength and deep knowledge of Bowel Research UK's patient network meant that we could move very quickly indeed. And I think the other thing that was of equal importance in this project was that this research was a real partnership between the research team and also the patients. We were completely equal, and both sides, actually I should not even use the word sides, the whole team worked together constructively to listen to each other, to take on board each other's ideas, and the respect amongst all of us for each other and what we were trying to achieve was really significant.